Off the top at 6, a final farewell to Holocaust survivor, Nobel laureate, and human rights activist Elie Wiesel. Services were held today in a synagogue in New York. Wiesel's family and friends gathered today for the private service.
He spent much of the past 6 decades in New York, where his foundation is based and where he taught at the City University in New York. And that's where we find Local 10 News reporter Glenna Milberg. She's live in New York City with more. Glenna.
Good evening, everyone. There were about 150 people here this morning to pay their respects to this man who made his life a mission of peace and tolerance. This is the Fifth Avenue Synagogue. It was a fairly private ceremony, and Jewish law dictates that burial take place within 24 hours of death. And so you could only imagine that there was just no time for what almost certainly would have been countless world leaders coming here personally to pay their respects as well to Elie Wiesel. Those who were there called the funeral a celebration of life, what Elie Wiesel lived. Countless would have been there if only they could have.
Although he sort of symbolized death, because he represented so many of the dead, he was a celebration of life, and he protested death at every level.
Wiesel's wife, Marion, a Holocaust survivor too, runs the New York City-based foundation that continues to lobby and educate for tolerance and peace and passionate engagement where none exists.
A symbol for his people
And all people, really.
and all people who encounter crushing, unbearable circumstances to persevere.
I belong to a traumatized generation, haunted by the world's indifference.
Wiesel was 15 years old when the Nazis deported his family to Auschwitz, where his mother and sister were gassed, and then Buchenwald, where he would watch his father die, and where he would visit decades later as a guest of President Obama.
What can I tell him? That the world has learned? I am not so sure.
Wiesel's brutally unvarnished account, Night, is one of more than his 50 books, a Nobel Prize for Peace among countless humanitarian awards for fighting atrocities and injustice everywhere, a moral compass, a gentle but demanding voice to remember and learn.
The question is, will the world ever learn?
Elie Wiesel's questions, his words resonate as clearly today as ever. He was buried in a ceremony, private as well, right after the funeral here this morning. I'm Glenna Milberg, live in New York City tonight, Local 10 News.
Glenna, thank you.